Good morning. Welcome back to Life with the Walkers. This is part 2 here of making molasses. And I'm sitting here down here in Kentucky Creek at the molasses mill with my father-in-law, Mac Alford. He's the man, molasses man. He's the key man in this operation down here. So we're sitting there by the old wood-burning stove here, heater, getting a little warm. We're about to go up here and start grinding the cane, getting the juice out of it so we can put it here in this pot. We're gonna boil off all the water and then we get that fine molasses.
What we have here is it's new to us, but it's an old 1800 power mill, and it's crushes cane a lot faster. We don't have to have the pole going around and around. Our old mill sitting out here is what we've been using, but we moved up. We went from a 1800 to a 1860 mill, and it does real good. And I took it all apart, put it back together, and put some good paint on it, and it makes it look like it's new, but it's still over 100-something years old. And what we do, we'll run our cane through the mill, and the juice will come out. I have a filter here that will filter most of it, and then we drain the juice down to my pot and start cooking, and we are ready to go.
Me! I'm just sitting on my while it goes.
Nobody's trying.
But it's not gonna dry.
Place it in the roller. See the juice coming out. Make juice squeeze on the camera there.
So if you notice, some of the cane is curved on the ends. That is due to all these hurricanes that we had through the south this fall. So a lot of the cane, whenever the strong winds came as it was growing, it curved them and bent them over. So it makes them a little bit harder to put into the meal, but you know, whatever. It's working. They're making it work. It's snapping off, and they just flip it to the other side. Now, if you notice that they're having trouble getting them in, some of them they're having to really shove them in, it's because the cane broke off at the knob. And whenever they cut it, like you said yesterday, they have to cut it at an angle. So there's, if you can see the angle on that, because it helps it to feed into the meal a lot easier if it's cut. So if it snaps off, it's a straight edge, so it's harder to get in. So that's why whenever you cut cane, you want to make sure you cut it at an angle at the bottom to make it easier to feed into the meal. Tell me about it.
What we done, we got the barrel up there and it's downhill to my pot. So I got me a little electric pump that I drain it, the barrel up there real faster than just natural flow. Used to have it natural flow, but it runs a little faster. And what I'm doing, it comes down the pipe and I put it in here. And I get it in there. And you always got to sample it to see if the juice is real good. This is a good tonic early in the morning. Got to have about 2 dipperfuls. That's one, and it's real sweet. That's good for you. That makes you 77-year-old, makes you get a little older. And what you'll do, we'll fill the pot up to about along here, and then I'll start my fire. And that's what I'm fixing to do now. I'm going to start my fire going. Some more of this stuff right here too. Used to use kindling, but this makes it go a little faster than kindling, and so it's the same purpose. Just get the fire started.
Get it going and keep it going.
Get it going. Now we'll sit back and watch it boil. Get the fire going up to the chimney. When the chimney's cold, the fire don't want to go up in there. But if you fan it just a little bit, it'll go up in the chimney. Now I see the flames going towards the chimney rather than coming out the other end.
We got a couple more little tiny stalks. stuff to eat, don't it? All right, we gotta skim off some of that stuff. You wanna go there? You ain't need gloves on to do that. We leave them on. Them are dirty
My
gloves.
fingers are tingling.
Oh, well, warm them up then.
But they're burning.
Yes, there is. Emily did a lot of the grinding. All your help left you, didn't they?
At one point,
You were by
there was
yourself.
no one.
You did a good job. You did a really good job, Emily. She was feeding
Yes,
that
they
meal.
did. They did a good job.
Do you want us to grind some more to get another full batch?
We don't need about that much more.
Yeah.
We got a good pot.
No, I know, but I mean, like up there. Do you want us to just pull a few over?
You can pull that wagon down there.
Okay. Tell me what you're doing.
Well, whenever you get when the juice gets hot, this skimmings, as we call it, and it just looks like slime. It'll cook off, and after it gets the initial boil, all this will be gone, and then it'll just be concentrated water. What we're doing now is this coloring is coming from the peelings of the cane, not the inside of the cane, but the peel on the outside, and it's sort of a greenish color, so you can see how green the skimmings will look. And what I'm doing is getting it hot, and it will, whenever it boils, all these skimmings will come to the top, and that's what I'm doing. I'm just dipping these things off, and once I get most of them off, then we'll let it boil for the rest of the day.
Morning, not day. How many? About takes about 2 hours from start to finish, right?
Somewhere like that. This is the original way of making molasses. Back in probably when the first settlers came over into Georgia, they had pots, and they would take the pot and use it for a lot of things. They would cook molasses, they'd scald their hogs, they'd wash their clothes, and then they didn't have salt, so they'd go out to the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, and take their pot with them and dip up seawater and boil it, and they'd get the salt they'd have. So we don't do scalding hogs, and we don't wash our clothes, and some people say we could take a bath in it, but we don't. And anyway, we just cook molasses in it and everything. A good fire is the secret of it. The main person in the meal is the person that keeps the fire going. And if he keeps it going with a good hot fire, then it'll boil better. And the quicker it boils off, the clearer the molasses will be. Well, what we try to do is keep the fire hot and get it to boiling, and the quicker we boil it down, the clearer the molasses will be. So cooking on a cast iron pot, it's going to be darker because it's a dark pot, but we do the best we can. It tastes the same whether it's light or dark. Finger licking good. That old molded wood.
I was told by the professional cooker that if you take this and you go straight down and let it fall, it helps to bust the bubbles better than stirring it. So you want to keep the bubbles down so it doesn't boil over while it's cooking good. Am I right?
Don't splatter it out.
On the other side, so it should be. Now it's starting to turn brown, meaning it's getting closer than it was. So you notice it started green, so now it's starting to turn brown. And if you look closely at the bubbles, they are white. And as again, I was taught, that means that there's water in it. So we're trying to get those white bubbles to turn to brown bubbles, golden bubbles, because gold means molasses. Isn't that right? You told me that. Why are you acting like you didn't know?
Well, that's right. You're right. You better stir a little faster.
Somebody get on there and help. Come on now.
I mean, mash it down a little faster now. You just take it. You can see.
Come on, you do it then.
All right.
There you go. You've done cooked about 70 gallons. I think you know what to do.
You hit it like it's a gnat on the fly.
There you go. That's how you really should do it. Like a gnat on a fly. Gnat on a fly.
Well, that ain't, I don't know how
That's a gnat
that
on a
sounds,
fly.
but anyway, that's Mississippi talk. They know what we're talking about.
Gnat.
It means you get in a hurry or you'll miss it. Gomer, you want to stir the pot?
I'm not good at stir
Well, you can stand here. Come here. You can do this.
Okay.
Somebody showed up to church in overalls, didn't they?
Yeah. I wonder who that was. That was on a hayride. I remember that. Yeah.
That's how
Here,
it got started.
here, get
I don't know
over here.
who called who Gomer.
Yeah, you get over here.
But
It's stuck though.
all I know is the entire Alford family is Gomer.
We're so smart. That's what it is.
Shazam.
Looks like two keeps it under control pretty good.
I think we know what we're doing.
How about that?
His name is really JJ, but he's Gomer to me.
Come on.
You had to call me something else in school, though, didn't you?
I don't know about that.
Or you didn't call me anything. That's what it was.
It became a race on Sundays. We had to see who could call
Who's
Gomer
on
first when you saw each other.
Don't put my phone in there.
Oh, so we weren't doing good.
I want to see how much y'all can work.
He changes up on how to do it every time. It's never the same.
It's always a little different.
Always a little different.
Well, we learning.
One year,
Experiment.
I do certain things. He's like, no, you got to do it this way. The next year, you got to do it this way.
This is called hydrometer. This is what it tells us when it gets to molasses. When it gets up to 35, it is, this is hydrometer. And then this is a homemade rig here. And we fill up a little tube. And I'll drop the hydrometer in there and see how much it is. It's sitting right about, what's that on? 10. Just shy of 10. So when it gets up to 35, it'll be molasses.
I don't want to know what it's called. I don't think it's doing anything.
Gomer gonna have to start calling him Barney Five.
Well, I've invented something.
For real.
Your own fan. You should have used that earlier instead of that cardboard you were using.
Well, I
He always uses the piece of cardboard.
Yeah.
Gotta see, keep something consistent.
That thing's been sitting over there for years, and I never have thought about it.
I ain't not somebody to talk about it. It's a lot of this going on.
This is an antique thing too.
What is that?
This is what is this? It's a blower for blacksmith shop. Yeah, blowers, is that what? Yeah. I got one like that. Well, mine's made on the dang tub. You seen it? Yeah, it's made on it. And I've got where you see it streaming. How it's got one little stream down. Well, and when it gets almost done, it'll be just a long stream. And when it gets close to getting done, it'll be a sheet all the way across there.
Not quite ready. Getting there.
Long ways. But it'll get there. This leave your thing in the thing, flatter up.
Huh?
I said if you just leave your thing in there.
Oh.
Yeah, just
Okay, when the steam goes down, you can see that. There you go. Our bubbles are starting to turn a golden color.
It's also sloshing out.
Well, you got that on the wrong hand. Know what I'm saying? You got that on the wrong hand.
She's wanting to do this, and it's got a little too hot. Now, see how big that is falling up there? See the big old.
Oh yeah.
what time around
11:30.
Oh, this is
What?
this is cooking fast here.
Well, you're losing some because you got it so hot.
Wow, y'all still make them freaking every week.
I can't
Push
get it.
him over to the other side of that hill, see what he does. Push him over to the other side of that hill, see what he does. Grace, you gonna ride it?
Yeah, he's getting the sheet off there.
Yep. Ready. Okay? That right there.
Not quite there, but it's getting close.
All you're doing is you pulling the fire out. Okay. Good stuff there. All right, hold on, Grace. We're almost done. She's gonna get it.
You're about to look at the phone and see when
35.
You can even see it.
I did too. I looked right at it. It was 35.
It was 35 was on my side.
Well, if I could see the 30 on my side. Me too. Emily saw 35. Now burn too. I think it's done. I know it's done.
All right, Johnny Wayne.
It's fine. You can tell me what you want to, but I'm just telling you. Remember last year?
It's just about it.
Remember last year?
All right, Glenn, you going dipper?
2 cases.
We don't need it anymore. Let's put it over there.
You sure it's done?
Yeah. I'll quit stirring. I'm gonna show you something right here. See, you see how thick them right there are? See how thick the foam is? All right. You can tell whenever
All right.
he's gonna take his time getting it out, and then it'll be
Oh,
perfect.
okay.
All right.
Plug it in?
And, yeah.
Now?
Yeah. Come here, some juice. Huh? Have you ever tried canned juice before?
No, sir.
There's your difference. There's your difference right over there. No, it's good. I done drunk too.
He made me try it.
We'll go get you a difference.
Everybody's telling me no. Everybody's saying no.
That's probably plenty. More than plenty more than you want.
Now, this is room temp, huh?
Well, cold right there.
Is the vacuum
It'll
ready?
be ice cold right there.
It should be.
There it is.
I ain't bad.
We're like a green
Everybody's
suit.
looking at me. I'm scared what might happen.
Just like green suit.
Gotta get a second batch going.
That's what started the whole deal.
We got our second batch going now. Joseph's getting the foam off the top of the juice. We hadn't got it started going yet, but we're about to. We're gonna bottle up the what we made. So what was that you just ate?
Sweet potato pie.
Sweet potato pie. It's your favorite, isn't it? You cleaned your plates.
Lord, they didn't call you that.
You turn it on and I'll turn it off. How about that? Let go. Get me a jar ready, Grace. All right. We are not eating.
Yeah.
No, ma'am. We don't do it until I'm focused on it. Go.
That's where me and Blue live. Okay.
Thank you. Nope. Put me this under there.
Cherokee purple. No, I'm getting it. I got it.
You got one?
I got a 2 before. Oh, you got it using right there. All right, give me that board right there.
Yeah.
All right, you watch your jar.
I'm not doing it. I'm waiting on you.
All right. But I didn't tell you what the best one was. Cherokee purple.
I need a lid, babe.
Cherokee purple.
Look at
You
it.
ever had one?
I'm gonna push it on.
Well, if you like a, they turn soft.